Hey there, friends. Today, I'm taking you on a wild ride through the wacky world of performance and conceptual art. Buckle up because things are about to get weird. Now, you might think all artists are these free-spirited, money-detached hippies, but reality is, they gotta eat too. So how do performance and conceptual artists, who create stuff you can't exactly hang on your wall, keep the lights on? Well, they've got a couple of tricks up their sleeve. Strategy number 1, cater to the rich. Yep, wealthy donors find donating to the arts more appealing than the average Joe. I mean, let's face it, most people are happy donating to the Red Cross, not to some guy crucifying himself to a car. Artists have a flattering explanation for this. They say that wealth-focused careers are unfulfilling, but art? Super fulfilling. So, philanthropy becomes a way for rich folks to vicariously enjoy an artist's life. Plus, there's the status that comes with it. I bet it looks marvelous to have your name plastered at the entrance of a museum gallery. Oh, and let's not forget the tax benefits. It should be no surprise that the rich give to non-profits to lower their tax bills. They get to support causes they care about and save some cash simultaneously. Now on to strategy number 2 and the real star of our show today. They sell shock value, or as they prefer to call it, provocative pieces. Not all performance art aims to shock. However, controversial works often get the most attention and profit. In a world full of content, shock may be the only way to cut through the noise. It can attract viewers, press, and money. Now let's take a quick trip down memory lane and look at some of the most shocking moments in art history. We'll call it the 20th Century Shockathon. Our first stop is February 20th, 1909. Le Figaro, a fancy French newspaper, publishes something called the Futurist Manifesto. The movement was founded by Filippo Tommaso Emilio Marinetti, an Italian poet born in Egypt. They were so into the future that they wanted to destroy museums and libraries. Marinetti recognized the significant influence of mass media and its effect of provoking controversy. Futurist gatherings were a peculiar mix of poetry and manifestos with long, insulting tirades. Marinetti judged the event's success not by applause, but by the outrage they provoked. The Futurist movement had a disturbing view of violence. What do the victims matter if the gesture is beautiful? He was a full-blown fascist, but regrettably didn't live to see the beautiful gesture Italians made with Mussolini's corpse at the end of the war. Next we go to Germany. It's the time of the Bauhaus movement, where art meets function. These folks loved simple, functional, and stylish things. No frills, just thrills. They had some pretty cool cats on board too. Kandinsky brought the color theory, Moholy-Nagy got techie with it, and Mies van der Rohe, he took minimalism to the max. The Bauhaus crew shocked people by stripping things down to the basics. They were the original less is more gang, way before it was an Instagram trend. Now you might be thinking, what's this got to do with performance art? Well, check out Oskar Schlemmer's Triadic Ballet. Geometry came to life and started dancing. Even though the school only lasted until 1933, thanks for nothing, Nazis, its impact is everywhere. From the phone in your hand to the chair you're sitting on, the Bauhaus left its mark. But let's step back to 1916, Zurich. World War I is raging, and a tiny nightclub, Cabaret Voltaire, becomes art's rebel HQ. Think part theatre, part art gallery, all chaos. Artists are reciting nonsense poems, performing bizarre shows, trying to confuse everyone. Their goal? Fight the world's insanity with more insanity. This little club started the Dada movement, shocking the bourgeoisie with each absurd performance. Then in 1917, we get Marcel Duchamp, the original artist troll. He submits a urinal to an art exhibition. Yes, a urinal. He calls it Fountain and signs it R. Mutt. The art world loses its collective mind. Duchamp's point? Art is about ideas, not just about skill or beauty. Everything and everyone can be an artist. That urinal is now worth millions. Now let's jump to 1961. Italian artist Piero Manzoni has a unique idea for his next masterpiece. He canned his own, let's say, output in 90 tins, numbered them, signed them, and auctioned them at Sotheby's. Not only did they sell, they fetched their weight in gold. In 2007, one of these cans sold for more than 120,000 euros. Kids, remember this one next time someone says, "Your art is crap." Around the same time, in 1961, Yoko Ono debuts her early work, Cut Piece, in Japan. Ono sits on an empty stage, beautifully dressed. Scissors lay before her. She invites the audience to snip fabric from her clothes. Some respectfully trimmed a sliver of hem, others sliced big chunks of material. With every clip, it became clear. It wasn't just Ono's clothes being stripped away, but the audience's inhibitions too. 10 years later, Marina Abramovic said, "Hold my scissors, Yoko," and took the same concept a few steps further with her piece Rythm 0. She gave her audience not just scissors, but 71 items. Some were harmless or pleasurable, like honey and feathers, but most were dangerous, such as an axe and a loaded gun. "I am the object. During this period, I take full responsibility," she said, and for 6 hours, she allowed the audience to use her. And who could have guessed? People can be horrible. They tore her clothes, harassed and cut her, drank her blood, and almost shot her. The 1970s saw performance art thrive. Inspired by the turbulent 1960s, artists sought to challenge the status quo. They used their bodies and voices to do it. They staged satirical protests and guerrilla theater. Feminist artists, in particular, pushed boundaries. They showed their naked bodies, wanting to challenge society's narrow views on female sexuality. Some tested human endurance, exploring pain, risk, and change. In her 2010 MoMA retrospective, Abramovic revived a famous 1970s performance by artist Vito Aconcci, Seedbed. In the original, he lay beneath a secret ramp in the Sonnabend Gallery, spying on attendants from below, while, let's say he was enjoying himself for 8 hours a day. The retrospective drew over 750,000 visitors. Defenders of this kind of art will say, it's challenging our preconceptions of what art can be, or it's forcing us to confront uncomfortable truth about society. And you know what? Sometimes they have a point.
I call it performance art, but my friend Ariel calls it wasting time.